This man, let's call him Dabo. Dabo is 47 years old, a trained healthcare assistant who hails from Nigeria, living in the United Kingdom and working at the Yorkie Hospital. To most, he was just another hardworking immigrant, quietly building a life in a foreign land. Dabo is married with kids and is loved by his family. He had no criminal record, no known history of misconduct, and no character that aroused suspicion. He was trusted with the care of vulnerable patients. He wore scrubs, carried charts, and probably even complained about long shifts and soggy sandwiches like everyone else. But in one deeply disturbing moment, something absurd happened. He crossed a line that would change his life forever and devastate someone else's. It began in early 2025. Dabo had been assigned to care for a seriously ill, immobile woman. Let's call her Kathy. Kathy was completely dependent on the hospital staff for her comfort, hygiene, and safety. One morning, during what should have been a routine task, which entails Dabo giving her a bed bath, something unthinkable happened. Dabo meticulously gave her a clean bed bath, and as the procedure ended, he leaned in and kissed her on the lips. Yes, you read that right. A kiss. Not a gentle pat on the arm, not a smile or a prayer. A kiss. On the lips, in a hospital room. With no warning, with no consent, with absolutely zero regard for decency or professional boundaries. It was not an accident. It was not asked for. She couldn't stop it. She laid weak and unable to move. He walked away. Shocked, confused, and violated, the patient kept quiet, at least at first. Can you blame her? If you're too weak to sit up, how do you fight back? Use telepathy? But the discomfort lingered. The sense of powerlessness haunted her. Then, days later, he returned. Again, he offered her another bed bath. She said no. But it didn't end there. After the bath, he kissed her again, on the lips, while she lay helpless in her hospital bed. At this point, you'd expect someone to jump out from behind the curtains and yell, "What is wrong with you?" But unfortunately, this wasn't a prank show. This was real life. That was the final straw. She reported the incident to the hospital management. An internal investigation was launched immediately. The matter escalated quickly. Police got involved. Dabo was arrested and charged with 2 counts of sexual assault. In court, he tried to explain himself. He said the kiss was a gesture of comfort. Now, unless he's confusing real life with a badly written soap opera, that excuse didn't fly. He insisted the second time he kissed her on the forehead, not the lips. But the evidence said otherwise. And honestly, that's like saying you ran a red light by accident while trying to stop at a green one. The judge made his stance clear. This was an abuse of power, an exploitation of vulnerability, and a betrayal of everything the caregiving profession stands for. The patient, in her own statement, spoke of the emotional toll it took, how she now struggled with anxiety, fear, and trust issues. She experienced flashbacks. She felt violated. Her hospital room, once a place of healing, had become a place of trauma. Dabo pleaded guilty. In June 2025, the court sentenced him to 12 months in prison. He was told he would serve half in custody and half under supervision. But the punishment didn't end there. It got better, or say, worse. He was also added to the sex offenders register for 10 years. So for 11 years of Dabo's life, he will be seen as a sex offender and treated as one. The Yorkie Hospital, in a formal statement, apologized to the victim and confirmed that Dabo was relieved of his job. They committed to reviewing their safeguarding procedures to ensure nothing like this ever happened again. And just like that, a man who had spent years building a respectable life threw it all away. Not for money, not for ambition, not even for love, but for a kiss, for a moment of uninvited, unacceptable intimacy. All that hard work just to become a cautionary tale. The story sparked outrage across the UK and beyond. Social media was ablaze. Opinions flew like angry tweets in a celebrity scandal. He should never work in care again. How did he pass background checks? Are hospitals really safe for vulnerable patients? A lot of people had a lot of things to say. How could someone so trusted act so irresponsibly? How often do vulnerable patients suffer in silence? And what does this mean for safeguarding in healthcare settings? At the heart of it all is a painful truth. Sometimes the people we are told to trust the most can cause the deepest harm. And in those moments, justice must speak not only for what happened, but for all those who were never believed when it did. Now over to you. What do you think? Do you think Dabo actually meant good with the kiss, or he had ulterior motives and used the kiss as a starter? Let's hear you in the comments and see you in my next episode.